Fujifilm X-T5 with the new firmware update, with the magic lens, the 35mm f1.4 lens. I've tested this combo and I want to share with you my results. The results are very interesting, so let's talk about this now. Hi there and welcome to my channel. My name is Tudor Matescu, and in this video I want to share with you my real world experience in street photography with Fujifilm X-T5 and 35mm f1.4 with a big change. I've upgraded my Fujifilm X-T5 firmware. I've tested this firmware on my X-T5 with 35mm f2 and 80mm f1.4, how I've showed in a previous video, and the results were great. But the big question that I had was how 35mm f1.4 will act now with the new firmware. Will this new firmware bring something better to this lens? Will this lens finally perform better on X-T5 with the new firmware update? So I want to share with you this right now. But before, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. So the first test that I made was with my kids. I've got out in the park and I've tried to take some shots of my kids coming towards me. The first results with my kids were excellent. I was amazed how X-T5 with 35mm f1.4 was able to track the eyes and to take sharp pictures with fast moving subjects, of course, coming towards me. This is an easy task in general, but again, with the old lens, with the old motor of this lens. So great results in IAF. Anyway, this was a short test, and after that I said, okay, I must try this lens now in street photography. How this lens will perform. If this lens will perform like the 35mm f2 in street photography with the latest firmware, then this will be an amazing combo for street photography, for portraiture photography, for candid portraits or for post portraits, because finally it seems we have a reliable IAF. So I've got out with my 35mm f1.4 and my X-T5. But before telling you the results, I must address some settings that I had on my X-T5. This video is sponsored by my site and my newsletter. On my newsletter I share tips, tricks, POVs, explain POVs, where I document all kinds of events and designs and so on that you can get and download on your computer. So please check my newsletter. You'll find the link of my newsletter in the comments and in the description. Click that link and subscribe now to my newsletter for more tips, tricks and news from me. I've set a custom button to activate IAF when I wanted that IAF to be activated, because in some shots, of course, because I have lots of people, the camera will skip the point from people to people depending on how you set it up. And again, for the IAF to work, you need to have AF plus manual F disabled, and you must have AFC selected. Don't use IAF with AFS. In single point, the settings will not give you good results. And I started to take some pictures, some test pictures, because again, I was testing the IAF of this function and the tracking of this function. The results were very good in good lighting conditions, but also in bad lighting conditions, in low light conditions. I was able to take shots after shots after shots. It was tracking the eye, it was tracking the person. The results are great. Yes, not all the results are entirely in focus, but again, it's not something that it disturbed me. It's not something that I can say, okay, it's not usable. No, it is very usable. Very, very usable. So I was able to get shots after shots, and the eye tracking worked great. Also, I've set my X-T5 on continuous low speed burst with 5 frames per second. I don't want lots of pictures, especially in street photography, but because this was a test, I wanted to see how it was acted. In general, 19% of the pictures were in focus, so great results. But after the light was going out and I was entering in night photography, I've discovered some mixed results. So if the person was in dark shadows, it wasn't able to track and to nail IAF so good. But what amazed me is that I've got good results in very, very dark situations. So in some situations the IAF wasn't working, but in some very dark situations, the IAF was seeing the eye and X-T5 was able to take the pictures. So the overall conclusion is that the update, it brings new life in the 35mm f1.4. Finally, you can use this lens with confidence that you'll have the portrait and the eye in focus, and the eye or the AF will not hit behind the subject, because this was one of the biggest problem of this lens. It was back focusing on some bodies. Now you can use it like any other normal Fujifilm lens. Of course, it will not act as fast as a 35mm f2.WR, but it's almost there. It is almost there. So now, for me, it is very hard to decide which lens I should bring in street photography, because I was generally preferring the 35mm f2 because of the fast AF, but now the AF-C with this lens, it is as fast as the 35mm f2. And again, if you don't want to use IAF, just AF-C with tracking or without tracking, just a point if the person comes to you, the results are again great. So this lens with the new firmware of X-T5 is a totally new lens. It's a totally new lens. And the big advantage here that I really like is that now you can have a beautiful portraiture package, a beautiful package that can bring you nice images with character, with good character, with AF, with confident AF. So this is a huge deal. You can get some nice portraits and some nice shots with this combo. And finally, you have a working combo that will not frustrate you. So Fujifilm did again a great job with this firmware update. Now, please check my affiliate links, my newsletter if you want to subscribe to my newsletter, subscribe to my channel, give it a like, leave me a comment, leave me your questions, and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.